Hey gaming fans, so today I have a Magic the Gathering Pauper format deck. This one is all about sneaking really big creatures into play using Morph and Manifest. So let's get to the build. So the big creatures that we're going to try and sneak into play, I tried to find some of the biggest ones I had in my collection anyways. So we have 4 of the Titanic Volvox. So these are from Scourge, I believe. That's the expansion. So the morph is 4 and 3 green to actually flip it face up, but we're going to use other abilities to do that instead. But it's a 7/4 trample, 6 mana, 2 green to hardcast it, which can be possible in this deck, but we're not going to be gearing towards that. So then we got more morph stuff here. We got Tree Spring Lorian. So he's a 5/4. He doesn't have trample. That's the only problem. But still a big creature, 5/4, and you can morph him by, pay the 3 colorless to put him face down as a 2/2 creature, and flip him up later. So for other big creatures, we have 4 Crash of Rhinos. So this is an 8/4 trampler. That's why I like him. He's trample, because you don't want your big monsters being blocked by just a 1/1 token. So we want to be able to trample, which is good. And then for the last one, I only had one of these guys that I could find anyway. I think I have more somewhere, but Hand of Emrakul. I just threw one Eldrazi guy in there. He's a 7/7. I mean, 9 casting costs. I mean, you can technically hard cast him if you want late in the game, and his effect is pretty cool. You may sacrifice 4 Eldrazi's rather than pay it, but you're not going to do that. But he's got Annihilator 1, so whenever he attacks, defending player sacrifices a permanent, which could be, it depends. If you can actually sneak him out early in the game, this could be very painful for your opponent, because they might have to start sacrificing lands. Now, to get these things onto the field, we're going to use the blink cards. So I have 4 momentary blinks. So you remove target creature you control from the game, then return it to play under its owner's control. The thing I like about this one is it also has flashback, so we can actually cast it again later on. And so basically what you're going to do is you're going to morph your Titanic Volvox, paying like 3 colorless to put him face down as a 2/2 creature, and then you remove him from play. So any card that gets removed from play is turned face up, and then it returns back to the field under its owner's control. So now it's going to be a 7/4 trampler. So that's how we're sneaking them into play. And then we have 4 Turn to Mist, which is the same concept. You remove target creature from the game, return it under its owner's control. So the only difference is that this is a multicolored one, so it's either pay white or blue. So it's just a little bit easier to cast because it's not so restricted on mana. Then for the other ways to sneak cards into play, we're going to use Manifest. So we have 4 Soul Summons. So essentially you manifest the top card of your library, put that card face down as a 2/2 creature, turn it face up anytime for its mana cost if it's a creature card. So the same idea, we're going to manifest the creature into play as a face down card, and then we're going to blink it out of existence, and then it returns back as its full power. So that's where the Crash of Rhinos and the Hand of Emrakul are going to come in handy. You're going to want to get these ones manifested onto the field, and then you just blink them out and then back in. So now you got they're at full power. So we got some more manifesting going on here with Right into Being. So as you can tell, this is a blue-white deck. So you look at the top 2 cards of your library, manifest one of those cards, and put the other on the top or the bottom of your library. I like that because it does fix up your library as well. Especially in the later games, if you have a lot of cards in your hand and a lot of mana to use, you can actually, fix your deck to manifest again, or put whatever you need there. So same thing, puts the creature down as a 2/2 creature. Then you're just going to try and blink it out of existence. I mean, you can hard cast them as well if it is late in the game, but so to fix our library, to make sure that our manifest works in our favor, we're going to play 4 Brainstorms. So you draw 3 cards, then you put any 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. So that's also important too, because when you do draw into your Crash of Rhinos in your hand, say in your opening hand you draw Crash of Rhinos, your Brainstorm's going to be able to put it back on top of your library for when you go to Manifest, and then you can slap it onto the field as a 2/2 creature, waiting to be blinked out of existence. Then we're going to do some more fixing of the top of our library with Ponder. Same idea. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put them back in any order. I mean, this doesn't affect your hand, but you do get to draw a card. So early on in the game, this is going to be your starting card. Hopefully you're going to open up with the Ponders. And then I put in another one, because this whole thing is just about sneaking these big creatures into play. If you want, you can balance the deck out a little bit more by putting in something like counter spells or something to deal with creatures. But what we're trying to do is just get these guys onto the field really fast. So look at the top 5 cards of your library, put them back or put any number of them into your graveyard, and put the rest back in your library in any order. So that can help get rid of any redundant cards. Maybe you don't need any more lands. Maybe you slap them into the graveyard. You got lots of options here. So that's the main deck there. So we're going to go and look at the lands. The lands are pretty simple. I need to get myself some more Pauper legal dual lands. I know I'm kind of short on these. So a lot of what I'm using are just the regular lands. So we got plains. I think I got 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plains. I do have Halimar Depths in here. So this is the same idea as your spells here. When this land enters play, you look at the top 3 cards of your library and put them back in any order. So fixing your deck, essentially, again, to help with manifesting. So I put 4 of those in there. And then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 islands. And then I threw in the only 2 dual lands that I had that are Pauper available anyways. Pauper legal, I should say. So these generate green. So my thought is, at some point, if you run out of your flicker spells or anything like that, you can essentially get the green to hard cast any of these cards, or morph this guy if you need to for 6 mana, because you have a green. With all the deck fixing and stuff like that, you know, it's possible. It's not what we're relying on, so it's just something that's nice to be able to do that. So I was thinking of, actually adding in green lands, or maybe even some artifacts that can fix mana. But we don't really want to be casting these things. We want to sneak them into play, because that's the whole point of this deck, is to get this guy out there on, the fastest you possibly can, and hopefully your opponent doesn't know what to do. They can't really do anything. But anyways, yeah, that's the build that I came up with. Of course, I always welcome your feedback. I play cards out of my collection, so I don't have everything that came out in the last 10 sets, but still having some fun building decks. Anyways, let me know what you think. Throw some comments down below. What are your suggestions? What would you take in, put out? What kind of ratios would you use? All that kind of fun stuff. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Hope you subscribe. Talk to you later.